Okay, it is now 6:30. I now call the special meeting of the Board of Education to order at 6:30 p.m. The coordinator call the roll.
Present.
Okay, Mr. Dixon,
Present.
Mr. Rollins.
Here.
Mr. Scrivano.
Here.
Mrs. McCulloch. Mr. Siegel.
Here.
Mr. Connor.
Here.
Ms. Stanford.
Here.
With 7 present, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Again, I'd like to thank Connor and the working behind the scenes to produce our board meeting on Channel 20 Zoom and YouTube Live. And just a friendly reminder to our board members, staff, and the public to keep your mask on and wear it properly over your mouth and nose when speaking. We will move on to our agenda item. Dr. Vosberg is going to present the academic calendar modified.
Good evening. On the agenda tonight is our academic calendar for the 2021 school year. Due to our tech outage, we had to add 3 days that were not in session this week to the end of the calendar. We are getting feedback from the REA, so you might see this in another version, but this is our recommendation for tonight.
Okay.
I would just add that it was pretty cut and dry, the changes we made. We literally, Monday and Tuesday were going to be Institute days. Those are now Thursday and Friday. And because Institute Day, those are day 3 and 4 of Institute Day. So staff was not required to come into work for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that's the staff side of it. And then the first student attendance day will be that next available day. We have Labor Day weekend through Monday, so that Tuesday becomes the first day. We added all 3 of the days, as Dr. Vosberg said, at the end of the calendar.
Okay, so I'll take a motion and a second to approve the modified 2021 academic calendar.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Connor.
Second.
Second by Mr. Rollins. Questions, comments, or discussion? Mrs. McCulloch.
You have to double asterisk this? They didn't bring this to us. Rebringing it. I'm asking point of procedure.
I don't know the answer to that.
It's under the consent agenda.
Do we need to suspend the rules, as Mrs. McCulloch's questions to
But
approve
is it just a consent? Doesn't because it's consent? So because it's consent, we don't have
Yeah.
to.
Okay,
Thank you.
good question. I didn't
My
know the answer to that. Any comments or questions? Mr. Connor.
Yeah, just one. So I was actually good until the last part of the last sentence for Dr. Vosberg when he said, well, this may change again. So, all right, I'll bite. What's the likelihood that we're going to have to do this again?
Well, I'm not in the business to make predictions on that, but we did get feedback.
But I'm putting you in the business of predicting. So
50-50, I guess, if you're asking on the spot. I don't know the specific concerns. We do like to be collaborative and partner with all of our bargaining units, and so they want to have a little further conversation tomorrow, and we'll have that conversation tomorrow, and then I'll know a lot more.
And we would, I think any of our conversations would really minimize impacting student attendance days and would probably center around the placement of emergency days. So from a family perspective, I don't anticipate significant changes. I can also add that we think it's incredibly important that we do this tonight because there's not any current controversy about the first few weeks of the school year, and we don't want to start the school year with any kind of with an inaccurate calendar. I think that would be a risk we wouldn't want to take. So we appreciate the board's indulgence. This was a very tight timeline for everyone. Obviously, as of last Friday, we were very comfortable with the old calendar.
Right.
So it's involved everyone having to be very heightened in our timeline, and because of that, we may need to have some follow-up conversations, and if an agreement is reached, we would bring that back, but we would do so while trying to minimize any impact on families.
Okay, well, that actually was the heart of my concern, was families. I mean, we really, at this point, I mean, my comment is, isn't it kind of just math at this point, by and large? You got so many days you got to have, and we're starting late, and that sounds like a math problem to me, but, all right.
So the last day of school becomes June 10th, correct? And then there's emergency days after that if we need them for any reason, right?
Correct. There's 5 emergency days.
Okay.
That's correct.
Any other comments or questions for Dr. Vosberg? Seeing none, the coordinator call the roll on the approval of the modified 2021 academic calendar.
Mr. Dixon?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Scrivano?
Yes.
Mrs. McCulloch?
Yes.
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
Mr. Connor?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We do not have any public speakers, so I won't read through the paragraph or two on the instructions for that. Now, I'll just ask, are there any other board agenda items, comments, or questions for tonight? Mr. Connor.
I would like to just say for the public that I just went back to the high schools, and I told Mrs. French tonight really how pleased I am personally with all the improvements across all the high schools for all the academies, in particular the production and automotive, those kinds of things really have come such a long way. And let me just say, when I went out to Roosevelt, I was impressed with just how active the academy is at Roosevelt, and that the students there really have deserved this as a real option. And reflecting what Mr. Dixon said earlier about that online curriculum for that, is that the opportunities are really there and across all the high schools. So I was very impressed with the tour, and I went through all the high schools, and the amount of planning and the support. And let me just say, the quality of the teachers in those areas is really impressive. So for those of you parents out there, let me just say that the Rockford Public Schools has, from my point of view, the best career education opportunities, including hands-on, local employers, just a fabulous job, a fabulous program.
Thank you, Mr. Siegel.
This is our last board meeting before the school year really gets going. I know it's been kind of a shaky summer and a long time since we've been back in school, but I'm very excited for the beginning of the school year. I'm glad it's actually happening, and I welcome back all the teachers and students and wish you all the success for a really great year. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. If there's no other business for tonight, I'll take a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Connor,
Second.
second by Mr. Siegel. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned at 6:39.